Today we're going to be making duct tape flower rings. They're really simple to make and I just love them. I think they're so cute. For your supplies, you'll need your duct tape and a pair of scissors. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut two pieces of duct tape that are about the same length. Mine are close to 4 inches long, and this is based off my finger size. So what I did is I took the piece of duct tape and I wrapped it around my finger, and I needed about 3/4 of an inch extra on the top on both sides, so like that, and when you pinch them together there should be almost an inch of extra duct tape. It's better to have more than less. So once you've cut those two pieces, you're just going to fold one of them in half completely, like that, and then smooth it out. I have some extra over here. And I'm just going to cut that off. And then I'm going to fold it in half again. But of course it's not going to stick. And take this other piece of duct tape. I'm going to start by placing it on the very top, all the way across, like so. So it looks like that. This is folded. Fold that down, and then you're just going to wrap the duct tape around. Just keep going. So I'm just kind of folding it over it. And then one last time. And that's what it will look like, just a strip of duct tape. Alright, so I have my strip of duct tape, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it around my finger again. And this is about the right size. It's about 1/2 inch above my finger when I touch it together, and that's what I want. And if your duct tape is longer than that, then you can just cut it, and if it's shorter than that, then you need to start over. And so once I've figured that out, I'm going to cut a piece of duct tape, just like this. It's a tiny little strip, and I'm going to use it to secure these two pieces together. And to do that, I'm going to kind of squish my pieces, like that. Like fold them inward just at the top so they look like this, and I'm going to kind of link them like that so they make like an S or something, and squish them together. And then I'm going to take this piece of duct tape and I'm just going to wrap it around the top of that. So that it closes like that. And my ring opens, and I can put it on my finger, and it looks beautiful. So once you have your ringish part down, we're going to start making petals and putting them onto our ring to make our flower. It looks like this. So we've done this part, and we're going to start putting on these petals right there. If you've ever made a duct tape flower before, you know that you cut strips about this size and you fold them down about halfway through the middle, right there. And you fold them down into triangles on one side, leaving duct tape on the bottom. And then again, and you have these house looking things, and then you make a flower out of them and you wrap them around. but these are too big for our rings, and it's not going to work. So you have to improvise, and what I did is you cut strips more like this. So they're about maybe 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch long here. And instead we're going to turn it this way, and we're going to fold these corners down. We're going to fold them midway. And then we're going to flip it around and do the same thing. And so you have 2 triangles just like that. And you're going to get your scissors and just cut down the middle of these 2. And now you have 2 petals. And then you take these petals and you wrap them around the top of your ring, like that. So that's 1 petal. And there's 2 petals. And you just keep doing that, taking the petals that you've made and wrapping them around your flower. So you have as many as this. And what I tend to do is in the middle I make my petals bigger, and then on the outside I make them smaller. And I try and kind of, you know, have some in the middle up high, and then as I move out they get kind of lower. But make sure that you still have room for your finger in your ring. And if you look, these petals are much smaller than these ones. So I have like this one here, it's a tiny one, and here's a tiny one, and here's this bigger one. You might not be able to tell that it's smaller, but it is. And to make a smaller petal, you'll just make your strips of duct tape thinner and fold them, and then you'll have smaller petals. So another tip I have, besides making the petals in the middle bigger than the petals on the outside, is you need to stagger your petals and make sure that they're in between the other 2 petals that are in front of them. Otherwise it'll look a little funky. Another tip I have is, in order to make your flower look more lush and big, I guess, without using a ton of petals, like this one, how it looks really big and like it has a lot of petals, but it doesn't have that many really compared to what it could have, is the way you position your petals. And I'm going to show you the way to do this and make it kind of like push out rather than just go straight up and down. So instead of just taking your petal and pushing it straight up against your flower like I just did right there, and see how like this petal looks like it's part of the other one, like there's a pink petal right here and this blue one is right next to it. Instead of doing that, what you can do is kind of squish your petal and make it kind of push out instead. So kind of push it like this. See the wrinkles here? Kind of squish the bottom. It kind of makes my petal push out. See, so here's that pink petal up here, and now here's the blue petal, and it kind of pushed it out. And it still looks really pretty, it's just not right up against that other petal anymore. And it gives your flower more of a blossom, I guess. Once you've put all your petals on your ring you'll have something like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut 2 really thin strips of duct tape, and you're just going to take them and wrap them around the very bottom of the ring, so under the flower above the actual ring part, and just kind of push it down, trying to keep those duct tape pieces down. And they'll probably wrinkle a little bit, but that's okay. Just go all the way around like that. And there is your ring. Thank you for watching Beauty from Trashes. If you enjoyed my video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And to stay informed on my upcoming videos, follow me on Facebook and Twitter.